Hi, I'm Cher, the Shadow Walker, and today I'm taking a look at cryptid sightings across the prairies in Canada and the United States. And I'm starting with Manitoba, and this is over the last 48 hours. So in Manitoba, there was a Bigfoot sighting in the Bassett area and the Opping Park, and it was on March 24th at 10 p.m., and it was a security guard at a mine. He's seen a massive bipedal shadow moving through a clearing, and he reported heavy static feeling in the air, and he reported it to the private security log. And there's a dog man in Emerson slash Franklin area on March 25th at 2:15 a.m. Two local residents observed a large wolf head figure standing near a property line, moved away with a bipedal hopping gait. They reported it to the community watch. There was a hellhound in the southern perimeter on Highway 75 on March 26th at 1:45 a.m. in the morning, and it was a solo driver. A large dark canine with shining eyes that did not match a local wolf appeared to be pacing the ditch, and they reported it to the social media. And there was a Mothman in Winnipeg in the urban area at dusk on March 25th. Three teens saw it, a large winged silhouette perched on a high power pylon. Witnesses described its red glints before it took flight, and they reported it to the ufology research. There was a spider humanoid in Interlake March 24th at 11:50 p.m., and it was two people, and they witnessed a pale, thin creature with too many joints climbing an abandoned barn wall, and it was reported to a private researcher. Saskatchewan, Canada, over the last 48 hours in the Torch River Highway 35 area, there was a Bigfoot sighted. It was March 24th at 11:40 p.m., and it was a sole driver. He witnessed a large bipedal figure standing in the ditch, and it moved into a heavy brush with an unnatural fluidness, and they reported it to a private log. In the Duck Lake, St. Laurent region, a dog man was sighted on March 25th at 2 a.m. Two local residents reported a wolf-headed figure standing upright near a granary. It stared at them before dropping to all fours and leaving. And they reported it to the Dogman Watch. And in the Moose Jaw area, rural, there was a hellhound sighting. On March 26th at 1:15 a.m., it was a security guard. He witnessed a solid black, amber-eyed creature near the perimeter fence, silent movements, and no tracks found, and he reported it on the internal security log. There was a skinwalker in the Hartford area, Highway 40, on March 25th at 10:50 p.m., and it was a group of three people. And it says that multiple witnesses heard their names being called from the darkness, accompanied by a rotting odor, and they reported it to the indigenous community. And in Uranium City, abandoned, a spider humanoid was sighted. On March 24th at 1 a.m., two explorers, a pale, multi-jointed entity seen scaling the side of an abandoned Candu High School, and it was a private researcher that they reported it to. In Alberta, in the Horse Thief Canyon region, on March 24th at 11:15, there was a dogman encounter, two hikers. They noticed it pacing the rim of the canyon, emitting a low-frequency growl that felt like vibrating glass, and they reported it to the Dogman log. There was a Bigfoot seen in the Nordic Bighorn country area, beautiful area. On March 25th at 3:20 a.m., it was a truck driver, a large bipedal figure crossing Highway 11, soul reading sensation, the driver felt compelled to stop. And that was he reported that to the Sasquatch of Alberta. Sorry, I was just getting another information in. A spider humanoid in Drumheller in the industrial region, again, on March 25th at 1:45. So this is less than 5 minutes, 3-minute car ride from my house. A security guard, a multi-limbed movement on the side of an old structure. It moved with impossible speed into the shadows, and that was 3 security guards that witnessed it, and they put it in their log, so the security official log. And a hellhound in Brooks and surrounding area. On March 26th at 12:10 a.m., it was a rancher. What he saw was a large black canine with glowing eyes near his fence. His livestock went silent and huddled, and he reported it to the local agriculture and the Cryptid Watch. And a skinwalker in the Siskin Nation border, so that's down at the bottom here of the province, March 24th at dusk, there was 4 people reported hearing voices of the members in the group being called from the coulees while the whole group was gathered together, and they reported it to the community elders. Down to the states below Alberta, in Montana, a Bigfoot in the Glacier National Park, the west area. On March 24th at 11:20 p.m., 2 campers, a menacing vocalizations and wood knocks. Proximity to the tent caused intense dread, and they reported it to the BFRO. There was a dog man at the Blackfeet Nation, on Highway 2 at 2:45 a.m. in the morning, and it was the sole driver that witnessed it. And he saw a wolf-headed figure standing in the median, staring at oncoming traffic with amber eyes. And he reported to the Puckton Project private log. And there was a hellhound in the rural outskirts of Bondsman, and it was March 26th at 1:10 a.m. in the morning, and it was a sole rancher saw a massive black canine stalking the perimeter, left no tracks in the soft mud. He reported it to the Agriculture Watch. In Missoula, in the Clark Fork River area, on March 25th at dusk, a Mothman was sighted by 3 people. A large dark-winged silhouette perched on a rail bridge, and its eyes were red, and they seen them before it flew towards the hills, and they reported it to the Missoula Paranormal. Spider humanoid in the mining district of Butte, March 24th at 12:40 a.m. And it was 2 people, explorers. They witnessed a multi-jointed entity skittering up the side of a historic headframe, and they reported it to a private research log. North Dakota, in the Walhalla region, in the Pembina Gorge area, on March 24th at 10:45 p.m., a Bigfoot. 2 campers heard heavy wood knocks and smelled a musky odor, bipedal movement in the deep forest, and they reported it to the Sasquatch North. And a dog man in the Theodore Roosevelt National Park North Unit, March 25th at 2:15 a.m., and it was a sole backpacker observing camp from ridge, described as an upright wolf-like figure with glowing eyes. They reported it to the National Hellhound Sightings Society. And a skinwalker near Wilkeston rural area, March 26th at 1:30 a.m., 3 oil field workers. They heard a co-worker whistling coming from a vacant equipment yard. However, the co-worker wasn't there at the time. And they reported it to the local sheriff as a prowler. And a Mothman in the Grand Forks area near the airport at dusk on March 25th, and it was a ground crew, 2 people. They witnessed a dark-winged silhouette seen gliding near the perimeter of the fence, red glint eyes. And they reported it to a private paranormal group. And a spider humanoid in the Millot area, industrial outskirts, March 24th at 1:10 a.m., and it was a night shift worker, and he's seen a multi-jointed pale entity, and it skittered across a storage tank. It moved with jagged, rapid speed, and they reported it to the security log in turn. In Minnesota State, over the last 48 hours, a Bigfoot at the Boundary Waters BWCA area, March 24th at 11:45 p.m., two winter campers, rhythmic tree knocks were heard, heavy bipedal footsteps circling their tents, intense smell of sulfur, and they reported it to the BFRO and a private cryptid log. And dogmen sighted on Highway 23 near the Sandstone area, March 25th at 2:30 a.m., and it was a solo driver. He saw a wolf-headed figure that was 7 feet tall, crouched by a creek bed, and then it stood up, so he got the size of it, and he felt the soul reading before it leapt away, and he reported it to the Dogman Encounters. And a hellhound near Ramire on Highway 200, March 26th at 1:20 a.m. in the morning, and it was a sole driver. No, it was a night shift worker, sorry. And it was a large black canine with glowing amber eyes pacing the storage yard. It vanished when the lights were trained on it. And they put it in the local security log. However, they did report it to the Hellhound file as well, so good for them. There was a Mothman in the Lift Bridge area of Duluth, March 25th at dusk, and it was a group of 4 people. A winged silhouette that was large and dark perched on a bridge substructure. Witnesses noted its red reflector eyes, and they reported it to the local media. And there was a spider humanoid in the Anacoke industrial area at March 24th at 1:50 a.m. It was a security guard, just one person. He seen it skittering across the water tower. He said it was multi-jointed entity, and it was pale, and it moved with a jagged, rapid speed, and he put it in the security log. And that is it for the Prairie area in the United States as well. So have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I greatly appreciate your time. Thank you so much.